Hey, yo,
You gotta be
damn.
mad able, able to respond,
Man.
able the ability to respond.
Yeah, but dang, that's what I was gonna ask you. Although, did you see it? You should have looked on. Did you look on Sheen to see how much they Hagar trays was?
Oh, nah, I just know that the ones I got from Amazon, because I've got before trash ones that was that they came, they didn't package it properly, like it was from a whack site. So this one on Amazon it said it was guaranteed. So I was like, okay. And
Yeah.
when I got it, that shit came sealed and properly stored. Like it had a vac, it had like it was inside of a plastic, and it was bubble wrapped, and it was fucking inside of a thing that was had the seal that it was like uncontaminated, like, you know what I mean, like sterile. It
Yeah.
was a sterile seal. So I had to break the sterile seal to get up in there, and all my trays was brand spec, and like they just came out the lab. Yo, none of them was contaminated. You could see trays as soon as you look at them. You could see if there's any contamination in there. And the crazy thing is that people,
Sorry.
novice, don't understand that sometimes them trays come in a
That's all you put
sleeve,
in there.
and that sleeve that holding the trays ain't sealed closed, so they just stack on top of each other. And if you pull them out, the tray open, and if that tray opens, oxygen gets right up in there and it contaminates the tray immediately. So you have to do it in a still air box, or in a zone where there's no open windows or particles moving, and you got to be real still and move mad slow to not move. You can't be breathing on it. You got to have a face mask on. You got to have alcohol everywhere. You got to be
Oh
in the
damn.
zone, like in the lab. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So even if you ain't got a lab, you just got to go into a closet where there's no airflow in there and sit still. Set up a little table where you sit down and spray the air around you. And as soon as all the little particles from the aerosol land, that means it's a clear space. There's no particles floating because the aerosol done grabbed everything out the air. Now you could work real quick in that little
What's up
space
with it,
and
Courtney?
move
Morning.
slow.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I ain't
Hagar.
gonna lie, so I did that before, bro. I turned to had one of my bags. I did two couple things. The first time I ever grew, nothing was happening, but I didn't know you ain't supposed to inoculate substrate. Like the other, like the, you feel me, not the grain, but the
Yeah,
substrate. I
yeah,
didn't know you're not supposed to like not inoculate that. I was just like, okay, bet. They said
yeah.
do this, cool. I got my bag. Nothing was happening, so I'm like, you know what? I think they need some food.
That in
My
there?
bro, my dumb ass went outside, got some leaves. I put the leaves in the oven. I'm like, yeah, let's sterilize the leaves. Let
Oh
me
my
bake the leaves,
God.
bro. I thought baking the leaves gonna make it valid. Bro, I crumpled them leaves up and put it in the bag. It got so it looked like a crayon box. It turned red, green, blue, white. It
Man,
turned
there's so
every
much
color.
information online about making substrates and how to do it. It's like so much easy access information. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, at first I was just winging it. I was just trying to be like on that science drug. We was like, all right, bet. Okay, we watched this. We looked this up. The only thing I would say, though, no funny, I got the wrong. Like, I got like the second bag that you would put over the first bag.
Yeah.
I didn't really know that. So like
Yeah.
later on, I started looking it up more. I was like, oh, this why I did this, or this why shit happened. Or I was
Hey,
asking people like, hey, what happened when you grew, or what did you do, or what do you do? And I'm like,
Con,
oh, okay. That's why I was fucking up
Ozo was
that.
trying to do what you said you was doing like a couple years ago. He said he trying to bring two strands together and make his own strand.
Hmm. It's
Well, I'm trying to do
possible.
that now.
I learned
Book
the techniques how to do it. It's
here,
possible.
and fire saucers. That's
It's
on the
easy to
books.
do too. You know what I mean? You just gotta have a clean space, a good little lab space that you could do it. You know what I mean? A walk-in little. It could be either the grow tent for the bud, the little zip in ones. If you got one of those dark room grow tent, you could even use one of those. Just put a light in there, put a little table, a desk inside of it, and spray everything in there. Now you're in a zone, and then you put the Tyvek suit with the zipper on, and you put the face mask on, the gloves on. You go in there, you clean as a whistle. Everything's clean, very surgical, like a surgical area inside of a fucking grow tent. You could do that. And once you're in there, you could work on anything you got to work with, and you will always have success in an environment. Like the closer you make the environment to outer space clean, the better the shrooms will grow. I
Yeah.
mean, not as far as growing, as far as the first steps that are hard, like the inoculation part and
What's the
and it takes off. Hmm.
what's the easiest way of bringing two strands together though?
The easiest way to do it is like in a space like that where you have a good lab, where you any space where you could clean. There's nothing gonna jeopardize what you're doing with as far as contamination goes. What you do is you grow a strain like um let's say penis envy in you grow it in a petri dish. Once it grows and you got a um you know what I'm saying, clean growth, and do whatever you got to do to make it mad dope. So you got that penis envy jar. I mean, petri dish with let's say it's agar, whatever it is. Now you got another one with Texas orange cap and a different one. So when they're both clean and they got good samples of them, now you could take them both and put them into a fucking blender and blend the dog shit out of them together into one chunk. And now you take a sample of that chunk that you blended, and you got to blend it thoroughly so you destroy them, and then they could bond to each other. And you put a sample of them blended onto a new petri dish, this little glob of blend into a petri dish. And if that shit grows perfectly into a fucking uh like a like a snowflake pattern, perfect combined, then you now you have combined them completely. But it's not going to be as easy as that. You got to do it several times. You'll see on each petri dish, every time you do it, you'll see both both of them struggling on the plate, fighting over territory. Like, oh, look, you can see two globs of like out of this birthed, and then one of them's going to the left and one's going to the right, and it's taking over the tray on this side and taking over the tray on that side. You can see two of them like a yin yang beefing on the tray. But if you keep on finding the right section, you could grow them in one perfect unity, and now that's both strains combined into one. And when you put them onto a growth substrate like popcorn or any type of grain, they'll colonize mad fast. And when you grow them, all the fruits that come out of it will have a combination of both of those strains, um, showing it in the pattern of how they grow.
Yeah, have you ever dove in on two different strains at one time?
Yeah, of course, man. I dove in on more than that. I tried several batches of strains that I mixed them all together. Like I mixed Texas Orange Cap with Ecuador and with go what's it called uh,
Golden teachers.
nah, the other one, the
Not
ones
the
I had was
halos.
I had Ecuador, Mazatopic, and I had uh, a few different strains that I just threw. I had all different, and I mixed them all together, and I would take them. But I will always try to take all batches, like high doses of one strain, just to see what the strain brings, and then try the other strain, take a whole high dose of that strain. And I noticed that every strain has its own little aura to it, that it has this little thing like, dang, every time I take these Mazda topics, these things are like spiritually, like they go spiritual on you. And then you take the rusty whites and these things go UFO aliens on you. Like it's like they,
Yeah.
and it was always something like that with them, you know what I mean? As far as going high in the dose, that the dose was taking me to out of body experiences, it would do that. But if I just took it and was just chilling on a lower level, all the strains give you the same door open. Like they all give you the same
The
feel. Like, you know
same
what I mean? But
feel.
yeah,
One thing that I noticed is they all have their own little insectoid looking creatures. That's the one thing that I noticed. Like, it's some type of weird ass plant looking like insect slugs or whatever. Cause like if I took the what was the lovely teachers, they had these yellow slug like creatures I used to see every time I take them, and there'd be a lot of them. Or if I go and I take the Mazatopics, they have these green type little triangular fractal looking insectoid looking things, and it's like each one had its own insect looking like creatures. He said I mixed envies and golden teachers. Ooh
yo,
wee.
I know what's crazy. See, this is why um it's woo woo to talk about with scientists about certain things that they know. It takes you to astral projection levels of meeting entities and having dialogue that is informative dialogue, not just ramble jumbo mixed or mumbo jumbo tripping balls. Oh, I don't know. Nah, it's always like a
Yeah,
fucking storyline. Like this motherfucker is telling you something, showing you something, taking
yeah,
you somewhere. So
yeah, and
um, that's amazing, bro. Like that's why it takes more of us to, the public is not willing to show that this is possible, the shamanistic levels that it does. So it takes for the public itself, for us to test and do this shit and come back with the fire to the tribe.
yeah, yeah. It's not. I don't think it's for everybody. It's like Christianity ain't for everybody. Islam ain't for everybody. It's not for everybody. You gotta have you gotta have a certain kind of mindset, and then it ain't even you gotta have a certain kind of mindset because a lot of people take it and it scare them out of there, and they don't ever want to come back. I think a lot of people don't be willing to face themselves. That's the only way I look at it. Is like people scared to face themselves, and the reason being because like nobody can scare you like you can scare you because you know everything about yourself. So when you step in your inner room, yeah, that shit opens up. You don't be wanting to see all that. A lot of people can't take it.
Yes,
Like,
it happens to sometimes when people not expecting that to happen, and then they like, yo, hold up, like I ain't know all that, yo. But if you asking for it, it'll deliver. You feel me? That's why it's good to even if like Khan said that he
hip hop
tried stuff
life,
that he
hip
winged it.
life.
He winged it. So his winging it helped him because he already knew for a fact, even when he tried when he found out different ways to do it, he knew for a fact that the other ways that somebody might be like, oh well, I'm gonna try to wing it and do this. He already went around that corner like, nah, don't even waste your time, fam. Like I already know. I tried that not knowing and it didn't work. So you know what I mean? It's not something that he just read somewhere and didn't try it because it said it somewhere. Like it's better to try it and it fails than to believe something you read that it said no, it's gonna fail because it might work. So fuck it, try
Yeah,
it.
just try it. Hip life
Mm-hmm.
said we should take them all at the same time and try a ritual. We did that
Yeah,
so many
yeah.
times,
That's
bro.
what Kalindi told us about. You know what I mean? That you know that's what it becomes when you like what Rob when Rob was talking to you about his trip report that he was with the girl and they were both on a high dose and he was keeping to himself what he was going through in his own journey. Like he seen the tree and seen all this other stuff that was crazy. But what after the trip, the girl was saying she was seeing the same tree, fighting the same tree. He was seeing her fighting this tree. They was going through the same in the same trip zone with each other. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? And Kalindi says that there's people that take higher doses than him in the 40 grand, 50 grand range, and the other people that they has powwows with that done went to places together as a group. You know what I
yeah.
mean? And that's what they were talking about. I mean, we never got deeper into it. You know what I mean? Too bad the man ain't here to talk about it himself, but we never even
Like
cracked
more
that
in
about
simulation. Yo, what's up,
those
Twan?
those higher dimensions. That he talked about the higher dimension, but he never talked about the group except for the part where he said that they, as individuals, they could still see one of the group members who died. They could go back into the high trip zones and still see that group member still there in the high trip zones if they go
Yeah.
back.
And he said they had a place that they would actually meet up in.
Yeah. And that even the dead one, the
And
dead
then,
person would still meet them there because they're still in the
oh yeah, wow,
hyperdimensional.
man. Yeah, Ozone not ready for that 5 MEO.
Nah, and that
Wow, man did the five when we had the meetup. Wow, man did the 5 MEO. Like at the next day after the meetup, he went and did that.
you know that's amazing shit, man. Like the DMT is amazing, 5 MEO, like all that stuff is amazing. Of Bufo, probably all that stuff is crazy, but it seems like all of these ways are valid. You feel me? And of course, mixing them just I feel that I've tried high doses to the point that of shrooms alone that they black you out in a way that you don't remember 4 hours out of the six.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? And I don't want to be on a level of um out of body that is like that I can't even retain none of it. You know what I mean? Like I'm
What's up,
gone,
I am
gone, and then come back and it's like, damn, only little snippets. You feel me? Like I don't. I'd rather
I,
do like 9 grams, 10 grams, and remember everything. Like remember
yeah.
everything. Come back with everything.
Yeah, I had them blackouts. I don't even call it. It was not to where I blacked out and I couldn't remember everything. It's like I blacked out of this motherfucker though, but I remembered everything I seen when I was in that space. Like when I was in that space.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if I don't think a lot of people not man like when we used to talk about the high doses. I don't think a lot of people are capable or even ready to
Nah,
take the
nah.
high
You know what it
doses.
is?
Man, that should
This is
make you lose your mind. You
Yeah, you know
you
what it is?
lose ah!
Everybody's different too. Like you feel me? Like it's not like I just take 10 and be doing that because to me 10 it probably be like somebody taking an eighth or somebody taking 5 grams. Like you know what I mean? Me taking 10. Like that's how I feel because I've already graduated to that. And Kalindi gave the hints about that. He was saying to slowly increase slowly. Like you know what I mean? Every time you go eh, increase slowly and graduate to the next level. And I took my time doing that because I had so many available to me that most people don't get that availability to have mad ounces of mushrooms that they could go experiment with on the self. You feel me?
Yeah.
To go into the self, like you feel me, or how to practice without no one telling you nothing. There's nobody there to hold your hand. You're just gonna you got O's and O's to go fuck around and find out.
Yeah. Yeah, even when you got off into growing, that was crazy because
Yeah.
shit, you showed me how to grow. Like that's how I grew my first ones was through you, which was dope as shit.
Yeah, man.
Which was dope as shit. I couldn't, but back then I couldn't have no gang of mushrooms because I dive in every day back then. It was like so when
Yeah.
I grew them, I was every day I was diving in. People was like, "Well, you can't do that because it's always somebody
Yeah.
saying what you can't do." This
Shit,
is
they
the
better
part I
try it.
don't. That's the part that gets me. It's always somebody that come along and be like, "You ain't supposed to do it like that. You got to do it like this. You doing it wrong. Like, shut up.
Yeah.
Just shut
There ain't
up."
even no information. There ain't even no clinical information out there to tell you what's the right way
What's
and
up,
the wrong.
Velvet
They
Win?
did certain things, but you know, the shamans, nobody told them how to do nothing. They took every day if they wanted to, whenever they felt like it.
Yeah, whenever they felt like it. Whenever they felt like it. And I was getting the same experience of whether I went in 4 days straight, 3 days straight, or shit, 14 days straight.
Hmm.
I was having the
And
same deep visuals.
the crazy thing is the shamans won't even eat. Don't be taking psychedelics for 3 days. Out of here.
He said, "Do you guys know Leo Gura? He took 5 MEO 400 plus times."
Damn.
Yeah, I don't know him.
It looks like he need to switch because he haven't showed him nothing after after 100. Why would you think like you ain't doing nothing? You need to just
For,
stop now.
what's
Once
up
you
with it,
touch him, like
Velvet?
nah.
He said 400 plus times.
Yeah,
Golly,
yeah, fine.
you should have fractalized by then. You should.
Yeah, he should have found out, fucked around, and found out after the first 100.
Yeah,
Take 100 DMT trips. He ain't gonna get to 400.
man, I think
Once you
we.
get to 100, you just slow down and be like once every minute, like yo, like nah, listen, man, I done did 100 DMT trips, man. I'm a dude.
And I done did like 5 DMT trips back to back to back to back before. Like,
Mm-hmm.
back to back though. Like you go in, come out, and go what the and go right back in and come back out and be like what the well hold on, I gotta do that again. Like 5 back to back, early in the morning, late at night. I did that shit for like a whole year, But it is crazy because after a while, shit, you won't dive in as much after just going in so much because you'll see, man, that shit is damn
Yeah,
near the same as
but
the.
I think that like the shrooms, there's an ill communication inside of the trips when it comes to shrooms. Like other things, show you things that blow your fucking mind, and you're able to use your own
His
thought
philosopher
process.
has
Like,
more
damn, when you're trying to
million
debunk
subs
it,
on
like you're
YouTube.
thinking, like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Some allow you to do that, but the shrooms, it's like you could be silent as fuck, and that shit's gonna talk to you and tell you stuff like,
I
oh
think I'll
shit,
check
just
him
blowing your
out.
mind the whole time. And you're just like, damn, yo, like that, that's amazing, bro. Like there's mad information inside of these things, man.
Yeah, mad. Yeah, it's mad information. He said, Leo. What he said? Leo Guru. He a philosopher. He got over a
Mm,
million subs. Let me see.
that's dope. Hey, yo, yo, taking
Oh
I
yeah, you
it's,
talk, man. Hey,
even Kalindi,
wait.
Kalindi was like, he done took ayahuasca, he done took Ebola, he done took mad stuff, and he said,
Yeah,
out of all of them, the oldest and the deepest was the shroom, and a lot of people don't know that. They think that there's other stuff that blow shrooms up. Oh, I took this, I took that, but have you gone higher in the dose in the shroom? Because that shit keeps changing. Every
yeah,
time you go higher in dose, the shrooms transform into some new alien shit or something that is like, yo, this is different.
yeah. He
It's
talk.
not.
Hey, but he talking about Leo, the one I used to talk about. See, I used to before I even dove in on psychedelics, when I first started, understanding the outside theories or the outside things of the Bible is when I first ran upon Leo. And I used to listen to some of his talks, and then later on I found out that he had dope when he was diving into psychedelics. People was criticizing him a lot. And it kind of just like fucked me up that he was getting that criticism behind psychedelics, and I didn't even know what psychedelics was then. But I had been watching Leo hella years ago before I didn't even know he had made it up to a million subs. That's crazy. But he
Hey,
be
yo,
having some
listen,
dope talks.
yo, you know what it is, book that
Huh.
people like that. I don't even know who. I don't, you know what I mean. But I'm just saying, anybody who goes in and dives in, they have experience. You feel me?
Yeah.
Experience trumps what people think they know.
Yeah. Yeah, it does. It does. And he used to talk a lot about enlightenment and all these other things, and that's what was dope. But then I don't know. I think once I started diving in and I started seeing for myself, bro, I ain't gonna lie. To like, I ain't watched no like no Terrence McKenna, none like no Ram Dolls. I ain't watched nobody in so long, bro. I don't know what that is. After a while, I was seeing it, so it was like when I come and I talk about it and I go and I listen to them, they saying the same thing I'm saying. So it was like, only reason I listened to them was to show me, oh, you kind of know what you're talking about. So it's like I don't even listen to them as much as I used to. Like I remember I used to a lot back in the day, but like now it's just like, man, I be more into just trying to be. You feel me?
Yo, listen, what's crazy about that is that I only I like listening to. I feel like listening to like Alan Watts and Terrence McKenna and like some of these dudes. Sometimes I haven't listened to them in a minute, but every time I go back and I crack open the Alan Watts or the Terrence, it's like it gets the juices flowing of the mind because they stimulate brain activity because they talk a certain way that
Yeah,
it gets the brain rolling, the motherfucking the wheels rolling, bro. And if you get them wheels rolling
Right
before
here.
you go into a trip, that's when you see the
Uh,
most
it says
aurora borealis in this bitch.
combat power
yeah.
of 7 million.
Oh dang, that's a lot. Wait, my bad. Now say it again, Ozo. You said it stimulates the.
It stimulates like a hella aurora borealis in the room. Like when your mind is stimulated like that, that like because like let's say you listening to the segments of Terrence McKenna's the weirdest trips that he's had to go travel to the weirdest places, the weirdest things he's seen. You listen to that, and the juices of the mind start fucking opening and flowing, and it's like okay, you get up out of there, and you go and you take your own trip, and it's like, yo, it has nothing to do with what Terrence seen. It's just like your mind is craving to go beyond, and it's like,
Yeah.
yo, you fucking, it's out of pocket.
I was gonna say that because after a while you start seeing that this thing that you felt like was in Ram Dass, Terrence McKenna, whoever you thought it was in, that thing is in everything. So now you hearing it in movies, you hearing it when you just walk by this person that just start talking to you today. You hearing it from from everything, and you getting that same free feeling from everything. It don't matter. Looking at the trees, looking at the sun, looking at the clouds, you start seeing that thing is in everything. We just choose not to see it because we constantly doing all this other stuff. But then that's the part that started tripping me out, is I didn't have to go look and listen to these other things in order to get that same feeling or to get that knowledge or to get, it's already here because it's already within it, intertwined in everything. It's just we grabbing the moments and then we sharing the moments. Here go this moment, this moment, this moment, this moment. But every moment actually matters. But we'll take the best ones. We'll make it into something. But every moment is something. Every moment has a meaning.
You know what's crazy, book, is like something is connected to, like if you studying something, or if you, like I said, listen to Terrence's trip reports, or and you get the juices flowing, or I think it's the same thing as ceremonial, like ceremonial, preps the mind state for ceremony, like, you know what I mean, and it gets you into a conscious level of the brain wanting to do this higher exploration. Like, you feel me? Like, it wants to communicate with, like, the gods, for example, when people do ceremonies or whatever it is. Like, it gets the mind to that state, and psychedelics is like the most advanced way to unlock that shit, whether you want to or not. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, psychedelics is it like sometimes I feel like it show you that you already it and you already unlocked. Like you know everybody think that it's a lock on these things, and I ain't saying that it ain't, but you the one who put that shit on there. Didn't nothing else put it on for you. You did it throughout your life, and that shit, you can unlock it at any given time, through any situation, bro. That's the wild thing, because everybody is doing this thing that is doing just a million things at one time, and like I said, we single them out and we make each moment which we feel like are the best moments to us. And then we single those out and separate them from all the other ones that are still that same thing. And it's like, I just feel like everybody got it. I don't think nobody don't have it. You know, even if they got on the persona like they think they don't, or they act in a certain way, it's like they still it.
Yo, listen, it's like the when it happens, right? When you take an effective dose, and that could be different for everybody. But once you get to that level, it's an experience that is like, bro, like, um, anybody can astral project. Anybody could go and see stuff from different perspectives. Like, you know what I mean? It's crazy. Like, you don't have to be scientific. You don't have to be religious. You don't have to be any of those. But the shrooms, well, psychedelics will take you through levels that will make you reconsider things. Like, yo, this is crazy. Like, yo, I seen it in a different, like, you use different awareness levels, different perspective. Things come out of the left field. Like, it expands your consciousness in total. Like, you feel me? Like, it does something that like, you know, it makes you feel, if you're not religious, but it, like me, I was never really too inclined to follow the Pied Piper, like my family, because they try to drag me through it. But as I took psychedelics, it made me more knowing that there's spiritual stuff. Like, it brought me closer to spiritual, because I was like, bro, there's something crazy. Like, this is real. Like, this isn't like going over there and putting your head down and praying and to some entity that never answers or never shows nothing. But then I took psychedelics and it was like, bro, I seen stuff that I answers to things that I never even asked the question. Damn. Like, that was crazy. That was a spiritual experience. Like there's an other there. Like, you feel me?
Yeah. Yeah, that's that. You need something, you pray about it. You get it, it ain't the right thing. You pray that the right thing come, because this one what didn't work the way it was supposed to. But yeah, I feel like that too, bro. I feel like it's almost like diving into like solar mechanics. Like once you open that book and start looking into that thing, you're gonna find out more and more, and then you're gonna start seeing that thing within everything in different parts of whatever. Like I feel like the psychedelics is the same way. Once you start kind of diving in, you start seeing the psychedelics, you start seeing it exists within everything, because that thing is everything already. So it's like you start seeing it exist in certain things. That's when the TV get to talking to you, the radio get to talking to you, the sun, the moon, the stars, the clouds, the everything just kind of starts speaking to you, and you
All of a
understand.
sudden, you're the Truman Show. All of a
Yeah,
sudden.
you all of a sudden you on the Truman Show, and yeah, you living out the Truman Show, and it's like hell no. Hold on, let me post it, bro. Yeah, you start living out that Truman Show. That'd be the crazy part right there, though.
Hmm. Everything aligns. You start, the coincidences are overwhelming.
But it's amazing at the same time. It's amazing at the same time.
It's amazing, but you got to slap yourself and not say nothing. You can't call out everything. Like, oh, this I'm looking at this while you said that. Every time somebody says something and it's something you're looking at or something you're thinking about, and it's like happening all around you. You get a phone call from somebody you're talking about. Like, it just happens back to back to back to back to back. That you just have to sit your rabbit crazy ass down and just, yep, mental note,
Hmm.
yep, hmm
Yeah, yeah. I hate.
mental, yep.
I hate that, bro. You be thinking about somebody like I could be going, man. I'm gonna have to call whoop de whoop, and I ain't called them in a year or two, and then they end up just calling you.
Because you will be.
Yeah, because you willed it. Just certain shit like that. But
Law
the
of
part that just freaks me out is when I'm sitting here talking to somebody, and then we say something, and then the TV is playing over here, and it say the same thing we just said.
Exactly, exactly. Law of attraction. I just heard a dude talking about that. He was supposed to go somewhere with someone on a hike, and it was evening already. And the first thing he thought was like, "Nah, we shouldn't. What if we ain't got no bear spray? You know what I mean? What are we gonna do?" Like, and then he was like, "Nah, fuck it, let's go." And that they walking on this hike, and halfway down, he sees the shadow of this big being in the fucking trail, and it's like, yo, and it starts chasing them, and it's a bear, and first it chases his boy, and then it wings off and starts chasing him. So he came to the realization, like, bro, I definitely willed that bear to be there because I fucking was already talking about it before we went. Like, and it's the same. Everything's like that. Everything's like
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They call it. Yeah, that shit is crazy. It is. It is wild because it start happening like that. But that's the thing. Just talking about it, is what brings it to foresight. It's like you don't even understand. Like I don't think we really understand the control we have over the reality, and I think that's only because our living circumstances. It's because we was taught all these other weird things that it's kind of they showed us that we don't have control, but we actually do. But that's the fun in the game, though, is to feel
you know
like
what's crazy,
that's
but
the
it's
fun
like
of it.
it just shows enough that you be like, oh, that's cool. That I thought that, and you willed that. Like you just enough that it always shows that it's possible. But people don't take it all the way to heart and just control reality. Like they don't. You know what I'm saying? Like a shaman tries to, like to find
Yeah,
out, oh, what's going on right now. What's up? Oh, okay, that's going on. Boom, and let me handle that issue. Like let's tackle that. Like
yeah,
you feel
you
me? Like
don't because you already got the stop signs telling you that you couldn't do it. That's something
Exactly.
that can't happen. That's not
Yeah.
possible. That's not
Yeah.
real. That is
You
fake.
brush it off. You brush it
Yeah.
off.
So you don't try those different things. But
People
we
rather go
try
see a palm reader. They rather go believe in that than you take some psychedelics.
astrology.
You see astrology and palm reading on another level. Just everybody's crazy.
What's up, Green Flowers? Nah, 'cause that's what I seen when I seen astrology. I was like, oh, that shit is real. Like it's talking about your interim. I don't think it's fake, but I don't use it. I still don't use it though. But I don't think it's fake, bro. I think that shit is real. Somebody was even asking me about space, uh, and doing a video on that. I said I gotta find that. I got an old video where I seen space as being like the inside of us, and it would like kind of freak me out because it was like you can't go to space. Like going to space is like you like you yourself trying to travel under your fingernail, and be it's like trying to travel there because space could exist somewhere. The space can exist right now and can be one of the hairs in your nostril. I said this shit is a conundrum or whatever they call it, but you travel out there, you just going inside you.
Hey, listen. One day, remember I told you I took a dose, and then I thought I was done tripping, whatever it was that I tripped on. I had to take the dogs outside. So it was nighttime. I took the dogs out. As soon as I got to the park, I could see all the stars, and my
Been
jaw just
altered from
dropped
the real
when I'm looking up at the
astrology.
sky, and I realized that these are just neurons inside of a giant brain, and our whole planet in existence is a forgotten thought in the back of a fucking giant existence inside of a fucking, like, all the suns and all the stars. Those are all neurons and connections inside of a giant brain. That's what I
Yeah,
seen when I was tripping.
yeah. See, ah, hey,
We're
we
a
be,
forgotten thought. Yeah.
yeah, we be sharing these experiences, and then it take you back to yours. Like me, when I seen the guy, it was like some dude, some fucking, I don't know what to call him, but some dude in the sky, and he was like running, and his running was creating this place right here. It was creating the whole fucking universe. Just him running or doing whatever he was doing, bro. I was like, damn. I think it's just astrology that's been altered from the real astrology, man. I don't know.
Hey, how many times you take shrooms, right? And you know how scientists show prove that our eyesight is actually increased when you take psychedelic mushrooms. Like it does something, it bends your eyesight in a way that you can see shit. And if anybody who takes psychedelics looks at the sky at stars, I seen different astrology than the ones they show us. Like I seen connections of different beings and shit. I seen one time that shit was connected, and I seen all kind of things. Like damn,
Yeah.
like connect the dots. It was like mad different.
Yeah.
Oh,
hey, hey, the stars get to popping out. The stars that you don't even see get to
yeah,
coming to, they get to popping out. I said all the
yeah,
stars connected and made a grid. But what was
yeah.
trippy was when they shoot this spider web looking line at each other and they hit each other, they was doing these sparks like the sparklers on on the 4th of July. I was like, hey, and the shrooms, I'm telling you, hey, the shrooms can be some assholes sometimes though. Cause they'll tell you some shit like I was amazed at the stars, and the shrooms was like, man, fuck them stars. We already showed you this shit. Hey, fuck them stars. What is you doing? You wasting your time. Come over here so we can show you this. But yeah, what's up with it? Who was that just popped in? What's up, Yaf? How you say your name? How you pronounce your name?
Yaf.
Yaf.
Yeah.
Wasting your
Yeah.
time, bro. What you doing? What you doing? What up, y'all? What up, bro?
What up, guys?
When's the last time you was tripping, y'all?
Mm, like 2 months.
Yeah. What
I
did you
was tripping a couple weeks ago.
did you see anything?
Yeah, I saw some gestures.
Oh
Talk to
yeah.
us. Talk to us. How that happened?
Oh damn, he
Five
popped
fingers.
out. He said, "I seen some jesters. I think his mic was messing up or something."
Yeah,
See,
it sounded like it
Justice. He
started.
was like,
What's
he
the
was
name?
like, I
It
ain't trying to
started like,
relive that. My
Pew.
I never seen no gesture, bro. Don't get me wrong.
Let
I
me
ain't never seen no thing. That's one thing I be hearing about all the time is the gesture. I always
all
hear
right.
about the gesture.
Let me be the first to tell you, you have seen them. You just don't recall, and you don't know. You just don't recall what they were doing. But once you catch up and you see them, and you see that it's them doing what they be doing, you're gonna say, "I have seen them motherfuckers before."
In my head, I'm imagining some dude with like the bell shoes, the bell hat, the clown. You know what I mean? Not like a little trickster clown kind of thing. That's what I'm imagining.
Yeah,
Like I'm like, wait a minute. I be seeing entities, but they never look all jester like. It look like they be trying to either show me something or be like, hey, welcome, bro. Come on.
yeah.
On.
Yeah, to see that's the weird thing about the gestures, because when they pop in, the gestures, let's say, see this reality right here, the gestures will show you, let's say if you wasn't in this, you was in another one, the gestures will show you this reality, and you'll be in it, and you'll think it's something else that's showing you this, but it'll actually be the gestures. Like they'll be creating a lot of shit, but then once you push past to where like you take a high enough dose, it puts you past seeing what they're creating and seeing them create it to where you'll see them with their hands creating the shit that you seeing. And if you just stay stuck on what you seeing or what they showing you, you won't be able to see them. You won't be able to see the gestures. I can't wait until work up the balls to do the big dose one day. I'll be scared as shit. But that's real what you said. We scare ourselves out of it because we know our deepest fears. Yeah. We was talking about that, like, you had it's things that happened to you in your life or things that you did in your life. It's crazy ass dreams that you had. It's certain things that happened in life that you like, I will never in my life tell anybody this. Like, I don't even really want to tell myself this because I seen it. But I'm trying to not see it again. And everything you made your fears as you went along, and you the one who said, I'm scared of this, I'm scared of this, I'm scared of that, I don't like that. So those things come and they like actually play a part in the experience. And I think that is what's something that scares everybody out. They don't want to see demons. They demons. Because it ain't about nobody else's demons, because we take on a lot of shit from other people without even knowing that's what we do. Because all you got to do is hear it. That's the thing that tripped me out on a lot of my experiences back in the days when I first started diving, and then talking to people in my family or friends that I knew that was Christians, and the things that they were saying to me, like, oh, you seeing them demons, and them demons is they gonna do this to you, and this gonna happen, so that once I dive in the back of my mind, all I'm hearing is demon, devil. To where I start saying,
Don't be bringing that to my village, man.
Hey, you remember I used to, once I got ready knew I was going to dive in, I wouldn't be on Discord for 2 days. No Discord for 2 days. What's up with it, Arthur?
You said 2 days.
Yeah, 2 days. 2 days, because I didn't want to hear all the bullshit. Because if you hear a gang of bullshit, that shit going to follow you in there. But once you get control, it don't matter what you hear.
Yeah.
When I took DMT, the gestures was creating geometric shapes and laughing at the same time. Yeah.
Hey, look, listen, that's why it's sacred, right? You can't let anybody into your space. Like, that's why I feel that it's a gimmick to have people doing in places where they have you going to meet strangers, like people that didn't want to even come to the meetup together, like, you know what I mean? Like, that's too much for me. Like, to go places with motherfuckers that I don't even want to fuck around with. Like, it's like because you're susceptible and you're open to all their dumb shit to invade your space.
To invade your space. That's your temple. But once you learn how to, once you learn that and you accept it, you don't be letting everybody in. You
Yeah,
feel
no doubt.
me? But you well, it
Once you
ain't that you.
practice, once you
Yeah, through
practice,
practice, it
yeah,
ain't that you don't let them in. It's just the fact that what they do don't bother you no more.
yeah,
You
yeah.
don't hold on
That's
to
what I
it to
think.
where it's just
That's like a
sitting in the
definition,
forefront.
like a shaman, like a definition of someone who's been practiced so much that you could be tripping, having a bad trip, and they'll be tripping with you, and then they'll step right into your trip and be like, step off, and banish that shit up off you, like get
Yeah,
out of here,
yeah.
and change your trip to and bring you to a calm you, anchor you somewhere else, and then walk away and leave
Anyone, I
you in a
always do
better
it
place.
alone. Yeah, and look, Courtney said I don't ever take mushrooms or LSD with anyone. I always do it alone. See, that's what
Hell yeah,
that's what we did.
hell yeah.
That's what
Shit.
I be doing.
Journey,
Hey,
journey of the alone, right? Journey,
Journey
journey
of
of
the
the trip.
alone.
Hmm.
Yeah, when I was taking the 4 ACO, I was in this motherfucker eyes rolling by myself. Eyes rolling all the way somewhere I couldn't see them.
You brought
But
YouTube with you.
yeah, oh yeah, I brought YouTube with me a gang of times. Remember, you'll be tripping, and then Black Wolf would be like, look at Discord, look at
Yeah,
Discord
nah,
chat. You go in there
nah,
and you see Rubber Johnny, you like, what the?
nah. Nope, nope.
but but all my like shit, my dang, a lot of my experiences, mostly all my experiences, like except a few, I always did by myself. Like diving in, even on the 4 ACO, it didn't matter.
I think those are the most like important ones. Like when you go dolo like that, and it's like, bro, like you come out of that thing like trained. Like it's like an experience. It's always like they're like a teacher entity. Like you feel me? No
Yeah,
matter what, it's like a ambassador's room. Like sometimes I feel like it just unlocks us somehow to probably witness whatever we witness. Like it somehow um, gives us the keys that we never knew that we could have to our own vehicle. Like
and
allows us. You know what I mean?
I think some people need, like Lindy said, they need their hand held though. In
Some
the
people, yeah,
sense,
for a little
yeah, they
while,
need to have
training wheels,
that
training wheel.
yeah, they gotta have that group setting in order to get them in the space, like
Yeah,
it's say,
because like I said, people don't know they carry baggage, like family baggage, stuff
yeah,
that is haunting them, and then so a shaman come into the same zone, tripping balls like you, and then shoo that shit away, like shoo,
yeah,
and
shoot,
make it go away.
yeah. Yeah, and it take a minute to get there to where because I used to see
Yeah,
all the stuff, and like I started doing different things in order to set my mind up to where it didn't focus on the things people had said. Like I'll listen to music, I'll put on Tibetan singing bowls, I'll put on some shamans going, oh, yeah, some old weird shit in order just to take my mind off of all these ideas and thoughts. And that's another crazy thing. When you step outside of your body, bro, you see everything your body carrying, bro. You'll laugh at yourself. You'll feel stupid because it's like we carry so many different things. We don't even understand half the shit we carry. Like we carry stuff we don't even need. I call it
yeah,
mind hoarding. We
yeah.
mind hoard.
Or attitudes and
Yeah.
opinions and stuff that you carry from
Yes.
either friends, family, relationships, and you carry them into other things and other places with you because it's part of your baggage. You feel me? You gotta learn how to release all that shit and create a new you. You need to update him. You need to update 2.0 to
Update
show you
2.0.
that
Hey,
yo, I'm wilding. I'm wilding.
Velvet said Missy the cat loves to be telling me what to do when I'm on shrooms, acting like if I could understand her cat language. I think I can understand any language when I'm off. When I'm on the shrooms, I can understand any language. I'll be hearing many languages run through my head that I, can
One of
kind
the
of
one
interpret.
of the that's one of the craziest things is that the mind, it's like listening to stuff from another language. Even when you're tripping, somehow your brain deciphers stuff that you ain't able to do while you're sober. And even if it's not even what they're talking about, you're still getting the fucking rhyme and reason.
Yeah, you still
It's
get it.
crazy.
That's because the mushrooms is the ooze. He said, drink the ooze. Drink the ooze. You drink the ooze, it read every language. Not just the languages that the speaking languages, but body language, eye language, the hand motion, the hand gestures, which we kind of read all that.
Clothes language.
Clothes language. It reads all of it.
Yo, that shit shows
That's
you all
how them
kinds
so
of
what he
hate,
had.
everything.
Folders in his mind. Yeah. Oh, that's the way I see it too. Like we got all these different folders. And then some of them, the ones that we don't like, we put all the way in the back. But the ones we keep the other ones hella close so we can kind of keep revisiting those folders and looking in them. Like that love folder. We revisit that motherfucker in so many different ways. But I be feeling like we got all these different files as we saving up. Like everything that got something to do with love goes into the love folder. Everything that got something to do with hate goes into the hate folder. Everything that got something to do with liquid goes into the liquid folder. So that when you see something that's watery or that's wet or that's damp, you know that's water. You know that's some type of liquid. Like we got all the different folders and we reach into them each one as we go. You know, depending on the circumstances. But we use all of them. Cause everybody don't like hate, but you know that anger folder, you use that motherfucker when somebody don't like the shit that you feel like they should be liking. You feel me? They mean, but then you take it and you start back acting mean to them. So it's like, what's the difference? But we dig into these folders, and it's you save the ones that you want into the files that you want, and you hold your files. You even write on them motherfuckers, write the names on them.
But why is it that it expands on things like let's say this, right? Let's give it this much, right? Our mind can bring so much to the table, like our thoughts, our memories, our experiences. Is one thing, right, that we bring into the psychedelics with us. But then whether it's TV, something we seen, a movie, something, that shit will expand on the whole Avatar universe or whatever it is that you've seen, the Spider-Verse,
Yeah.
It'll come and it'll make new movies with better directors, with better, with more fully full immersion, and it's like that's like a beyond technology. That's some type of technology, bro. Like it has no other thing but to be in. Like the mushroom trips are technology based. Like they're always arc of the story. Like it has everything. It has characters and stuff. Like it's just like and even if it's always like movie reels.
Yeah.
You're still traveling. Like you could either be a camera that has no body, or you could be a body that you don't even see, or like you could be something else, different things. Like you could be the floor of the whole planet, and things is walking
Oh
around.
yes, in that velvet.
It's crazy, you know, how far they spread you, and it's crazy how the psychedelics somehow. As far as I don't even know all psychedelics do this, but mushrooms are so deep. Like Kalindi said, they got everything. They go to the deepest chapters are within the shrooms. That they go far. They're the first entities that were on this planet. Like as far as biological life forms go, mushrooms was here first, before animals, before plants, and it shows that they branched off and created plants and animals, so that the true ancestor is mycology, like mushroom, and mushroom is like a pure brain, the way it grows, the way it moves. And obviously when we take shrooms, that shit is showing us intergalactic information, everything, information, everything. Like it's just pure intelligence. It's wild, bro. Pure intelligence comes out of this shit.
It's
Communication
weird
comes
because
out of this.
sometimes I feel like I'm like opening up my DNA and taking a peek inside my DNA at times.
Oh yeah, yo, they
I
cleanse
didn't
the
know.
body. They're food for the brain. They unlock something within us
That's
that
so
shows us our
smooth.
DNA.
They're talking. Oh, that's Mystery Ozo talking. She said, "Damn, his voice so smooth." Who is that talking? That's Ozo. It's Ozo, Velvet.
Yo, that
This
shit
is
is our
smooth talk
tools.
radio,
Yo, man.
mushroom radio. Hey, look, that's the mushroom talking. Now you know Ozo a mushroom.
Hey, yo, listen,
No, he a golden
I'm more like
teacher, a
I'm more
ape
like
or something.
Gargamel finding the Smurf village. You're like, uh-huh. I know. I know. That's just crazy, man.
I remember I had the trip and I was like, "We the Smurfs."
Yeah, yo, shit, man. The
Look
kids
at
is
all the
tricking us.
houses; they shaped like mushrooms.
Shit, man.
We the
This is deep,
Smurfs.
bro. It's deep.
Hey, it's that's what I was gonna say, Ozo. Uh, like when you off the shrooms and you start listening to music, like
Mhm.
why the fuck do it seem like they made that song specifically for you? Don't matter what song you listen to.
I don't know how, like,
What's
like
up,
when you put on
Jesse?
the VR goggle headset, you know what you're doing. You put on the VR, you know it's gonna fuck with your audio, visual, like, whatever. But when you take shrooms and then you put on music, I feel like it's like getting into an elevator and it just starts going through whatever the music takes you, and you follow this flow of information that comes out of this shit that you never even heard before. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's why I like listening to music with no words when I'm on shrooms. If I hear anything, if I even put it, sometimes because of the silence is even better to me. Silence, darkness, and I feel like I can't make it silent enough or dark enough ever. So I'm gonna have to try to do the blindfold and earplugs to go even further in,
yeah.
deeper. I'm gonna try it and see what happens.
Shit, you go deep enough, that shit turn off by itself.
It does. This
That
is what
shit
the
will
thing is too.
turn,
We
will
have
turn
to
off.
going into places like that and like going into the pyramid and going into the sarcophagus on a high dose. um, and you go places that I guess they might be, I've experienced, there might be flora and fauna. Like if you land in water in the blackness, you don't see what's in there. There might be crocodiles. There might be in the grasslands, lions out there in the blackness that will get you. Like so, you have to be fortified and warrior to go in there, like to battle. If you want to go there, like you feel me, like. But at the end of the day, um, and you can't be like thinking that everything's a demonic entity. Like I wouldn't think a lion attacking me is a demon. Even if
Yeah,
I was in the blackness, I would feel them out. Like oh, like you know what I mean. Like I'm not gonna just be scared to death and succumb to this thing. You feel me? Like the fear will paralyze you. You feel me? Like so. Um, that's why you got to travel slowly, I guess,
yeah.
for people.
I never could understand like to me. This is just to me. I ain't saying anything wrong with it, but when people take their shrooms and then instead of laying back and diving into themselves, they start doing all kind of stuff. Well, I want to watch this movie, or I want to do this, or I want to do that to see what happens. Man, the best thing to me is when you lay back
Mm-hmm.
and you dive into yourself, and you'll
Hell
see,
yeah.
like you'll see, you don't need a blindfold. You don't really
What?
even gotta be in darkness.
That's when it's the most disrespectful, bro. That you can't
Yeah,
even believe in
yeah,
yourself.
cause it,
You're
cause,
like,
cause
what?
yeah, that's the step. So people don't see, so they don't go through all the trying to close it out and fighting, trying to stop hearing what they hearing or stop seeing any little bit of light that's going on. But after a
Yeah.
while, when you grasp it, you go, "Oh man, wait! I am the creator of darkness.
You know
I
how many
make
grown
darkness.
men, both,
I
you know how
make
many
silence."
grown men be shook. Like, I need the light. I need a little bit of light.
Yeah.
Grown men.
Hell
Just a
Yeah.
little bit,
Bro,
like.
I stepped in that backyard. When I first, like, the first couple times I took shrooms, I stepped in that backyard. I seen all them giant shadows standing around my back gate. I said, I ain't going out there. Hey, I am not going out there. Even taking DMT, I remember my girl turned off the light on me. It brought me all the way out. She turned the light off. It brought me all the way out my trip. Hey, what you doing? Don't be doing that. Turning off the lights. You trying to freak me out. Like,
Yo,
but when I started diving in on the 4-ACO, you know, it's like taking 30, 40 grams. They was like, what you scared of the dark for? You are the darkness. You the one creating the hate, saying that you hate this and hate that, or don't like that, or don't like. You creating all that yourself. And like ever since then, though, I ain't had no kind of fear in not diving in. Not diving in, I can see the ugliest things, and it's like I just okay, what we about to do with this? What am I being shown this for? Not even that, just I'm about to be it.
the mind, you gotta get them wheels. That's why the mindset and the setting are protocols for John Hopkins type of shit. Like, you know what I mean? The protocols, mindset, the setting. So, like, let's say, you know, on Netflix, that show they got called The Universe. How they talk about the universe and all the
Oh
calculations.
yeah,
Infinity. No, it's called Infinity. The thing about Infinity.
yeah. You
So,
made the light.
bruh, before taking a high dose, or you know, you know how it takes 30 minutes to kick in the high dose. You pop in Infinity on Netflix and start watching
Yeah,
that.
yeah. I watched that shit.
Bam.
That shit had me
And your
geeking when I
mind,
watched that.
bro. So when the trip starts kicking in and you still feel wavy, and you see the TV looking like, oh, you shut everything the fuck off, turn everything, lights off, everything, and the wheels are already turning in the brain, and they ain't gonna stop turning.
At all.
And
At all. And I always said once you like, okay, when you take your shrooms, you walk around, you doing everything that you do or whatever. When you blink, if you see anything, if you see lines, it don't matter anything, bro. That'd be the time to go just lay down. Go somewhere quiet, lay down. And your mind, once you go into your mind, I'm telling you everything, this place is gonna disappear. It's not gonna exist no more. This place is not even gonna be a thing. Like, this is not even going, you ain't gonna have no recollection of family or friends or I gotta eat or I gotta drink or you not gonna have no recollection of none of those things. All that stuff is just gonna go out the window. It's gonna be like it never was here before, and you just gonna be in that place that you in. It don't matter if you seeing anything fractals or whatever, you just gonna be in that place, and you gonna be that place. You're not gonna be all these other things.
Hey, yo, Brooke, you know what's crazy? Like, a little bit of discipline. Like, I was able to watch comedy. I found like stand-up comedians and stuff that I never even heard before. Like, I just give them a swing, like, while the trip is coming on, and I'll be laughing and geeking. And by the time I feel the trip, the discipline comes in for me to say, all right, enough of this, watching this, laughing, I'm going to shut everything off. And then I shut everything off, and I'm in a good state of mind. I'm already still smiling in the darkness, my stupid smile I can't wipe off. And then the trip unfolds in a friendly way.
Yeah. Yeah, that's another way too. I catch them lines though. It's over. I'm laying down, and those lines become so much more, because it's like you kind of zooming in on the experience and zooming out. And if you up close, if you up close looking at just the 7 on your phone, you gonna see it's a 7, but you're not gonna realize it's being shown on your phone. And then it's like when you zoom out and you see it's this is just the phone. Like, that's how I be on a lot of the mushroom experiences. I'll be so close to where I can't tell what I'm seeing, but it looks like something different. And then when it zoom me all the way back, it'll be like a big ass dragon or a big ass snake or something crazy. And it's like, dang, all that fractal from that little, like, all that shit is going on within that thing, within the dragon or within the snake. I remember.
That's why that's what Kalindi says about magic carpets. The magic carpets, Persian rugs. those patterns are all like traveling
Yeah,
interdimensional.
yeah, yeah. The patterns is telling the story. That's what I was trying to talk about earlier. Is the fact that you start seeing that thing within all things, bro. It's like you can't miss it because it exists within it. It's nothing that it doesn't exist in. That I
Bro, you
said,
know how when you tripping book and you look at a straight line and that shit's wiggling, that
yeah,
straight line is wiggling and dancing. Imagine looking at the pattern on a rug that you're standing on or you're sitting on. The
yeah,
thing around it'll become a flying carpet.
yeah, yeah. Like the popcorn ceiling, how that shit started changing.
Oh, that's the moon right there.
Popcorn ceiling, that shit get to doing all kind of like even the little the way they paint the walls, they spackle the walls. Though all that
Mm-hmm.
shit started turning into like Egyptians walking, carrying shit, and it's just like, wait,
Oh,
where is this
shit.
coming from? I
Oh
think they
man,
Egyptians. That's what they told me they was. That's what we said they were, but I don't think they that. They something else.
that's crazy.
Yeah, the experiences be overwhelming. But I gotta tap out, y'all, because I gotta go in early today. So I'ma holler
That
later
should
though if I
mean
can.
in on something like shrooms or DMT or what.
Man, you didn't ask me a single question, Booker. I feel so left out the whole live stream.
Oh,
Dang, I didn't. I
No,
don't
I
think.
didn't say anything on this chat.
Dang, yo, bad. Yeah, everybody's
My
supposed
bad.
to. Yeah, everybody's supposed. We just be chiming in. It get quiet.
No, I'm just fucking with you.
Hey, it get quiet. You supposed to just chime in. Cause Ozo still only talking about his first mushroom trip. He ain't even gotten to the other ones. He talking about the first one. It's gonna be a year before he get to the other ones.
shit.
Shit. Dang, that'd be the crazy thing. This is just one experience. I've been talking about the same experience all year. Next
Come on,
year,
but
you gotta get to the next
we
one.
done forgot, bro. We done forgot epic stories of shroom trips that. Oh yeah, you remember while somebody's talking about something like, oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like that time a couple weeks ago where I took 2 grams and I was looking at the concrete and then the concrete got a little blurry, but the blurriness turned into this like hallucination where it lifted off the ground and floated like 2 feet in the air.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
the surface just rose up.
Yeah. Did it look like it was kind of vibrating though?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I got that off. Whenever I come down off DMT, that's how I look. It looked like the ground is 2 feet off the ground, but it almost looked like it's underwater or some shit.
Well, with this thing, it had 2 copies of the concrete. Like it had a
Yeah.
thing where I could see the concrete
Thank you for
around
being
it, but
here,
there was like a
Courtney.
pattern in the slick of the concrete,
Yeah.
and that pattern lifted up into the air, and was all like staticky.
Oh damn. Yeah, double the dose realities.
And the thing
Those
is, I could control
realities.
it because like if I let my eyes blur out a little bit, it takes over and then it just lifts up. But then if I focus my eyes again, it goes away.
Yeah, that's when you gotta just make it blurry and just see what's gonna happen.
True.
Yeah, but yeah, make sure you send me that video too, Velvet. But I'm about to get out of here. All right, peace out, YouTube. Thank y'all for stopping by. Make sure you hit that like button. Don't be ever scared to come into the Discord and share. Somebody came in where they got asked about them gestures. I don't know if they revisited it in the question.
Hey, before you hop out of the Discord call, I got something to ask you.
All right, YouTube. Peace out.